Okay, welcome to another episode of Most Man. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. TheMostMen.com is the website. info@themostmen.com, that's MEN, is the email. So feel free to shoot us an email if you want to. So, we got Tyler back today. How you doing, Tyler?
Feeling great. How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Awesome.
So I'm Mark. Hello. This is Tyler.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Talk a little bit longer so you get your pretty face in there.
Oh, sorry, everybody. This is Tyler. Second podcast of the new career, Most Man.
Okay, so Tyler is our. We got to come up with a title, but again, give us a snapshot of what you're here to do.
I'm here to direct things in the right direction. So I don't want to be called the captain of the ship by any means, but I'm going to be putting up the sails in the right direction. I'm going to be adding on to the ship the things that need to be added on. Put some big old jets on the back of this thing if we have to, and it's going to be a cruise liner and a yacht all at the same time. So basically, I'm gonna be the most man possible, and we're gonna influence as many men as we can to be as most man as they can possibly be.
Well, no, you're the marketing guy.
Right.
He's the marketing. Again, his title. It's not going to be some bullshit. That's something we need to talk about. That's what I heard. So we're going to get into some stuff here in a minute, but. No, he's going to do everything that I don't know how to do. I know how to build a business, the vision, build the whole back end, build a company. I know how to get on here and be silly and do, silly stuff, but be serious at the same time. I know how to do all the big business. Like, I know how to build a business, but this is the guy that's going to do all of our online marketing. He's a videographer expert. Audio expert, but he also is there's another podcast that we did last week that he's a social media marketing phenom, which I have no clue how to do all that. So that's why he's here. But not captain what he said, but to tailspin off of what he said. Yes, he's about to put the jet engines on this thing where they need to be to get us where we need to go, because I know how to get there in certain directions, but not like he knows. So happy to have him, and I can't wait.
Me neither, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. He's a great guy. Our minds worked alike when we first met. And I said it on the last podcast. Something that he may not know yet, and it's not that he needs to know it or not, but he has the business acumen up here. But all the other places that he worked, it was just basically getting taken advantage of, and let's not tell him. Well, I'm telling him, and I'm not taking advantage of him. We're going to take care of this guy, and he's going to be along for the ride. So I can't wait. So
I just want to do good business, and I think that's going to be a good topic for today. Because good business is good business, don't we? Are we all tired of getting cons and frauds? I am.
Liver Kings?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No more Liver Kings. No. Yeah, no. The whole thing is just, this is me. I'm not putting on a show at all. I've been like this for 45, about to be 46 years. And I ain't stopping who I am. I'm going to be exactly who I am. You can either like it, love it, or not. But so let's get into it, man. But here's well, I shouldn't have done that. This I can't wait, because I already know just by talking to him, he knows what the hell he's doing. And it's everything that I don't know that I'm doing. So buckle your seatbelts, because it's going to get fun. Okay, so topic that let me talk real quick. I'm going to blow my nose. I don't think everybody wants to see me blow my nose.
So the topic of the day, we're going to be talking about employment. Not only just employment, but the current landscape for now versus the way that things have been, the road going forward. What can we do to change it? What direction should it go in? A lot of things, a lot of ideas, a lot of different perspectives. And we're just going to discuss ours and what we think should be the most prosperous way forward.
Yeah. Well, and it's on all the platforms. So that's what. Okay, so we talked about this earlier, and he's like, "I want to talk about this on the podcast this time." Or I asked him. I said, "What do you want to talk about?" Normally Timmy's here, but Timmy couldn't make it. Tim's an air conditioning guy. And it is the end of July going into August, and people are not leaving Tim alone. So Tim couldn't make it today. He's out making money, as he should. Okay? So, employment 2023, using your personal social media where we are today. And what is the landscape looking like moving forward? Our prediction, we're gonna talk about our prediction and which direction should it go, in our opinion, and will cancel culture continue the path that they're doing now, or are they going to double down and even go harder? So, I was watching a podcast today that kind of hit on all this, and I want to tell you this just because I heard it. And then then I'm just going to give you the floor because you're going to know what I'm talking about. So I was watching a podcast today, two prominent guys that are they're in it. They've been doing it for 10 plus years, and they're making money. I mean, they're millions. Okay. But they were talking about. Let's just start with YouTube, okay? So they're YouTube guys, Instagram guys, Twitter now just went from Twitter, now it's X, right?
Yep.
Okay. They're TikTok, but they all started in YouTube. And this was the topic that they were talking about today, and it fits this. We talked about this yesterday, what the topic was going to be today. And I was watching this. I was waiting on him to get here because he got caught up in all that good old North Texas traffic. Yeah. So just so you know, that this camera, how the cameras are, you've got to talk for it's at least a second and a half before it switches.
Okay.
And if it so whenever you start talking, I'm going to stop. That way, it'll switch to you. So. And the volume going in makes a difference too. So there's been a couple of times where you've been talking and it hadn't switched so that I just want you to know that because I don't want you to just be left out over there.
Thanks, man.
Okay. So let's talk about YouTube first. Okay, about how all the censorship and all that and all of what they're doing and all that. Okay, so they were talking about how everybody's moving to all these other platforms, but they don't want to move their stuff because they've got so many followers that they've built throughout the years that will they follow, right? But their biggest problem that they're having is that exactly what just happened at the very first of this. They were given the things that are giving them fits with YouTube right now, okay? I thought it was the first. I've been told for the last 4 months that I couldn't cuss for the first 30 seconds. But now it's 2 minutes. And if you cuss in the first 2 minutes, it automatically moves you to 21 and up, period. If you talk about marijuana, if you talk about COVID, they throw you out.
Yeah.
or
They'll ban you.
or Trump, or you know, like
They're doing auditory SEO on you. When your keywords come up, they move you wherever they move you. Put you at the bottom of the feed. They'll suspend your account. It's ridiculous.
they won't even give you a warning. They just throw you out into the bottom land.
Yeah.
And then they'll just tell you, well, figure it out.
And they have a new thing now too. So when you appeal it, they have a waiting period for the process to review your appeal. But they're taking a long time on the appeal, convincing you to just delete it so you get your access back. But then so you're like, you cancel the appeal, you just go ahead and delete it anyway or whatever. But then they still suspend your account. So now you're suspended, and now you can't appeal it because you deleted it, and YouTube is telling you, well, now you can't appeal it. Now we've suspended it because you deleted it, and you can only appeal it when you deleted it. So they trap you. They've taken another step. They figured out enough of your patterns to where you're gonna like wait out their appeal for a minute. But it's been like 3 days. I'm like, well, I need my YouTube account, so I'll just delete it. Whatever. They bank on your frustration now, and then they wait for you to delete it, and then they suspend you. And now Twitter's doing the same thing too. But that's what YouTube just started doing. Since they got the new person, I don't know how long it's been since YouTube had that new CEO, but it hasn't been very long. But yeah, now they're stretching out your appeal period. So if you appeal it, they'll wait 14 days or whatever. But if you just get frustrated and delete it because you need your YouTube account, so you delete, I'll just delete that video. Then they go ahead and suspend you, and now you can appeal it because you deleted it. And they're like, well, we can't look at your appeal now because you deleted it. So everything's a trap.
Well, here's the thing. Here is that here's your. I didn't want to speak, and I didn't want to get 21 and up over a.
Well, I think you said COVID like a minute and 56 seconds in. So
No, we were way past that.
okay, all right, cool. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, no, we're. But not only that, it's going in and going against, like, if you're going in against like the vaccine and all that, you know what I mean? You start talking about how it's all bullshit and all that. They don't want you pumping that narrative. If you're sticking to that narrative, the reason why I brought this up is I didn't understand the whole. If you cuss, it automatically puts you in the 21 and up bracket. So that's what they're saying is they've noticed throughout the years is they had to figure out that certain just by cussing or by having somebody that smokes marijuana. I don't think you can talk about marijuana, but it's having somebody on your show that's smoking it.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then automatically you're popped up to the 21 bracket, 21 and up. Okay. So when you're used to your videos hitting, talking about those, they're heavyweights, right? They expect to get 5 million views every time. Like that's like their bottom level. You know, we hope to get there, please. Okay. But, yeah, they started figuring out that certain things that they were talking about would automatically throw, you know, to where it's taken off to that 5 million like they thought they were going to get. And then all of a sudden it just at 3 million, it boom. Because think of who the eyes are. The eyes are the kids. So what I was taught, and you'd probably agree with this, is that yeah, I cuss, and I'm really starting to try to limit myself. Not limit myself. I'm going to cuss, but I'm just saying. The first couple that I did, I was like, good God, I cuss a lot. You know, I need to tone that down. Like I got a potty mouth, right? So. But the way that I was taught from my first producer was he was just like, just always know that there could be a 13-year-old kid watching this. That's how you need to treat it. That's just your best rule of thumb. So what do you think?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I like effective messaging. I think effective messaging has been out the window for a long time. And I mean, it's that raw mentality that normalizes what used to be normal. So like even like in college, I noticed at the time when I was in that like the business classes were teaching you to drill down, save money, not spend. That saving money is making money, which there is merit to that, but they were teaching you to. It's kind of hard to put it exactly into perspective because I mean they were doing a multiple of things, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that there's just everything is like a downward mentality now. Nothing is about climbing or expanding. So every time that now that you try to go the opposite direction, there's some sort of trap, there's some sort of repercussion, and it's gotten to the point that we're down to like keywords. You say one word and it picks up on it. Like, you know, Twitter just had a new competitor called what do you call it? I already forgot the name of it, but it's the Mark Zuckerberg one where you Threads. So Mark Zuckerberg made a Threads platform.
They say it's tanking though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a trap. If you have to sign in through your Instagram, and if you get Threads, you can't delete it or you lose your Instagram also. So it's just another trap. But it's like this safe space where we can go have like this safe zone of speech where there's no hate speech. But hate speech is keywords now. Like they've implemented SEO to stop you from speaking.
But they'll allow the other hate speech to go in.
Exactly. Their rhetoric is literally hate. They're like anti-you. They hate you, which is why they've cut off the words that you type. So like one of the things that Threads banks on is like on Twitter, you can put, I don't want to see anybody reply to me. I don't want to see people who reply to my post with these keywords in it. So if whatever you come up with, whatever is like a common thing that somebody says, like in the echo chamber, I don't want to see somebody say this word again. Like conspiracy theorist. I'm getting tired of being called a conspiracy theorist when I'm telling you the truth. So I don't want to see somebody call me a conspiracy theorist. You can put those two words in your settings to say don't show up when people reply to me. So on Twitter, everybody else can still see it. They can still comment on it. But I personally won't see it because I can filter that out. On Threads, they changed it and went a step further. On Threads, if I'm saying something back to that person, calling them a conspiracy theorist, and they've put that in their filter, not only can they not see it, everybody on that thread cannot see it. I have been completely drawn out. So you can come up with almost an entire vocabulary of things that I can come up with. And you can filter out all those words. So I can sit there and try to tear down lies all day long. But if my keywords are up there and they've been filtered into the system, the entire thread, nobody sees anything that I say. Like completely filter out. It's the ultimate suppression tool.
Right. And now, so that was another thing that these guys were talking about today. And this is just fresh on my mind while I'm bringing it up. Okay. Is that, it's not only that, but there's other platforms starting like what they were. I've got a trash can over here if you want me to throw that away. Yep. Like they were saying, Snapchat is like on the big time rise right now. Like they're paying 50-50 ad revenue to their content creators. And there's that. Have you heard of Kick?
No.
That's new for streamers. And then, well, obviously Rumble. And Rumble, same thing. They don't censor anything. So YouTube is, they're so huge that people can't move.
Yep.
So that's why they're getting to do what they want to do, right?
Yep.
And that's what that was the whole point of why I wanted to bring that up here, was that all of you out there, I will never be bought and sold. I will never be, I mean, I'm going to say exactly what I want to say, okay? But at the same time, even like what they were saying, they were like, okay, well, there's certain things that I just don't need to say to screw my audience, you know, because your audience is who really means something. It's not YouTube. You're not looking to satisfy YouTube. Right? It's your audience. That's who you're worried about. So they're the ones that are bought in on what you're doing, especially if you got a brand and if you got, you know, those guys have got, you know, one's got, they've got a brand, right, that they've built and they're proud of, and it makes them a lot of money. And it's not that it makes them a lot of money. It's what they believe in. It's their lifestyle, right? That's just who they are. But just within their community, they draw that many people because people like them, right? So just like whatever community ours is, like what we talked about yesterday, is that Tim's the 60 and up crowd. I'm 45 crowd. He's the 35 crowd. We're going to get a 25-year-old in here, the 25 crowd. Hear it from all different perspectives of why and how we've got where we've been. That way everybody can relate. And then we'll help build, like I said, well, I haven't said this on camera, but this is new. This is new to all of you out there. Tyler is. But everything that I'm wanting to build, we're wanting to build. We're building Tim his own brand. Once we get our studio, we're building Tim his own brand. I'm building my brand. We're going to build Tyler a brand. And we got to find out who else we can bring in for the younger generation, and we'll build their brand. But we'll all come together as a unit to discuss Foremost Man and our brand here of what we're trying to do for men and women, old and young, doesn't matter. That's going to be the brand here, but we're going to have other brands outside of this that, like, I'm going to have and now that Tyler's here, y'all aren't going to hear a show that's 3 or 4 or 5 weeks old because we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, we knew what we were doing, but now what's going to happen is we're going to have a show, and then y'all are going to get it the next day. Or we're going to do it live, and you'll get it live. You know? So, but that's why we're talking about what we're talking about is y'all don't need to know the minutia of what's going on with all this, but there's a way that we have to do it for social media. Because they have all these rules and parameters that if we want this thing to succeed, we have to make sure we're in the boundaries and the guidelines, right? Am I?
Yep. We can only push the envelope once we go back inside the fence. If that makes any sense. Psychologically speaking, sociologically speaking, however you want to phrase it. We have to go back in the fence, and we have to push the fence out some more. Because all we do is get fenced in and fenced in and fenced in. We have to move the fence and show them it's okay to go over here in this green patch. There's red tape. It's not even a fence. It's like red tape. There's red tape everywhere. You got to rip the red tape down and show why it's okay to go eat over here in this grass and talk about this or whatever. And the only way to do it is to talk about the right thing the right way. And honestly, the truth is on your side anyway. Everything else, like all the red tape, is because it's been lied about. The stigma attached to it. You have to alleviate the stigmas. You have to disprove the lies. And it's okay to do so because the truth is on your side. Like, the lies are so bad, they've wrapped everybody's imaginations around everything. And now we just have to expose the truth, and you have to do so in the right way, which is why a lot of us cuss, because it's effective messaging, because they're not going to listen. If their main objective is just to take a word that comes out of your mouth and twist it and turn it and throw it into people's imaginations, there's no way to have a conversation. They don't want to have a conversation. They just want to twist and turn it so that you don't get your point across, which is why we use effective messaging out of frustration or whatever you want to call it. But it's effective. And that gets you censored, but nothing else works. You can't reason with them. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They hate you. It's the real hate speech. Telling somebody to stop doing what they're doing because they hate you doesn't mean that you hate them. You want to stop them from hating you. And they're not going to listen to what you have to say because they hate you. So using effective messaging when they use authority, your authority has to overpower their authority, and they're weaker than you, and they've been lying. So you just have to expose the truth.
Well, we're going to do it here. That's for sure. And I heard this, I was listening to the radio today. Yeah, I was listening to the radio today, and man, there's a lot of people out there right now. There's a lot. Okay, so I'll say it here. We're center right here, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I can see some of that left stuff. I mean, people need to be. I mean, there's a lot of. But here's the thing: they're not taking care of our people here. They're not. They're shipping it over to Ukraine and all this other. It's fucked up.
Yep.
But we're not going to get political right now. So, but that's what they think they're doing right now. They think that they're going to push it so hard that they just break the fence down. That's the perfect example of what you just said. And I heard this on the radio today. Is that they think that they're going to penetrate the fence and just run us all over. No, we are standing at the fence right now. We ain't backing down. We're not. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean,
they pissed everybody off too much.
Yep. Like the lies are there. It's too exposed. Like you said, the skirt's been lifted. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit, but
the skirt's been lifted so high.
Pants have been dropped. Skirt's been lifted. The entire rotation of everything. Like everybody knows now.
They're so exposed.
The pathological lie is it's over, but they're not going to stop doing it. It's a mental tug of war.
Yeah.
No, think like this, or you're this, or you're that. Everybody's sick of it.
Yeah, well, okay, so what do you think about the mysterious drowning of Obama's chef?
The guy who has just had a video of him taking swimming lessons and he drowned in 4 feet of water?
No, he wasn't taking swimming lessons. He was proving that he can do the breaststroke, the backstroke, every stroke that you can fucking do in swimming. He's doing it.
Oh, he took the big Mike stroke maybe, and I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. He took the wrong stroke, I think.
Well, but it goes back to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. I'm not saying that they killed him, okay? But how do you drown when you can stand up? And you're not that far from shore, okay? But and you may not know, and that's I'm well immersed into the whole. I listen to a lot of stuff, so that's what I'm saying. This dude over here, He's making plans to get shit done. He's probably not. He hadn't dove into it as far as I have. So just know that he's making his plans on how to take us to the moon. Okay. But yeah, all the people that have died around Hillary Clinton or the Clintons, their chef died from drowning
in 4 feet of water.
But all the way that these people die around them, it's just the skirts bit. We'll get that. We're gonna do that on the next podcast. Let's not lose focus to what we're doing here. Okay. We'll get into that on the next one. But it's too coincidental, man.
What do you guys think? Without us even discussing it, just literally just sit there and think about it. Just use your discernment. Use your imagination. He has video doing all this great swimming because he didn't know how to swim yet. So he had all the lessons in the world. Obama's like hooked up with the teachers and got him the best ever, probably, right? Drowned in 4 feet of water.
With somebody else. With him. There's another guy with him. He was the one that put the weight on him.
It's in your face, man. I don't want to get it. Like, how do people question?
Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's the reason why we brought up this whole social media thing is where we're at today. It's this we're living in craziness. I mean, this is insanity right in front of our face, and it what I think it is it's good against evil. Period.
Yep.
We are in the last days. Well, I'm not God, and I'm not promoting any of that. I'm just saying, but this is good against evil. These fucking people are sick.
Yeah,
they are sick.
No,
this is sick.
Yep.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Last night, man, or no, it wasn't even last night. It was yesterday during the day. My little neighbor over here, she's a little hippie, young with a kid, single mom, and I'm super respectful. But I mean, this whole room is soundproofed. By the way, we're in my temporary studio. We're moving to the new one. But I'm in here just having a conversation on the phone. I hear her kid crying every single day, all day. I'm in here just taking care of business, okay? And yesterday, I'm on a phone call with I'm dealing with my health insurance. I'm like, all of a sudden, my health insurance doubled. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And she's out there, little hippie. Nothing wrong with hippies, but I'm just saying, I think you know where I'm going. A little liberal. And I'm just having a normal conversation on my phone. And I could hear her kid screaming over there. I'm being quiet because I don't want to get the damn wall knocked down like it almost got knocked down yesterday. I'm just in here having and I raised my voice a little bit because I was talking to some freaking girl in the Philippines that could not even complete a sentence and was like, I can't transfer your call to the United States until you give me all your social security number, driver's license number, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you ain't getting none of that. Do your job and transfer me to the United States to somebody that can speak English, period. And she would not stop and do her job. And I got a little heated. And all of a sudden, man, she starts boom, 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 boom. 7 times on the wall. Like, I'm trying to get my baby to go to bed over here. And it's like, well, I've accepted that kids cry, okay, since I've lived here. Now, have you not accepted that people talk? Like, I'm on the phone. And if I have to get in somebody's ass to get the point across, I'm going to do it. And if that offends you, I'm sorry. So I walked outside last night, and I want to be a good neighbor. That's why I'm being quiet. Okay? I'm only here for a few more months. I walk outside, and she's out there smoking her, I can't say that on YouTube, but she's out there smoking her stuff. And she's like, hey, how you doing? Like, nothing happened. And I'm like, was that you banging on my wall yesterday? or today? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, so how would you feel if I started beating on the wall every time I hear you talk? You can if you want, like smartass. And I was like, okay. You know, I was like, I tell you what, though. I'll put up more soundproofing for you. Just for you, her. I was just like talking to a fucking tree. Okay, quit talking about that. Don't want to talk now. Hello, back. Okay, so.
Picking a fight.
Huh?
Just picking a fight with you.
Well, she's done it to my son. You know, with his motorcycle that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Came outside one day. He started it up, and he was on his phone waiting for his friend to respond to him. Like, yeah, come on over. He's just fucking, brum, brum, brum. And it's not that loud. It is not that loud. It's a street legal motorcycle, and it's not a crotch rock. It's just, brum, 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 brum. And she comes running out, and she goes, I'm trying to put my kid down for a nap. Can you quit revving your motor? I came home, and he's like, we got a Karen living next door. And I was like, fuck, dude, I knew that the day we moved in. Jesus.
Well, I would have been like, yeah, I'm sorry. That's just a lot of fossil fuels, you know?
Yeah. Are you hitting the center button? Okay. Yeah, so let's stay on top. Let's stay on topic. Okay, so that's kind of what we wanted to talk about is what's the landscape moving forward? I mean, we've had nothing but extreme shit happen the last 3 years. So I've been talking enough. So I'll give you my opinion. After yours, I'm going to let you talk first. But so what's the landscape moving forward now? I mean, where are we at?
Right now, I think we're in the middle of the road. I think we've ripped through a lot of that red tape by just all that effective messaging and that savageness. We've ripped through a lot of that stuff now. And I think now is a pivotal point. I think in history, this is probably the most pivotal point in history ever, because we have had like that pushing through stuff. It happened hardcore because there was so much justification for everything that was said. There were so many lies that were exposed, so much shoved down your throat in a manner that never needed to be, and there was so much censorship for it. And the majority of the public, it's not even like, it's either we got stuck in that for it or against it mentality, but really it was just questioning. But questioning was enough. You know, when it was declared, you know, in 2016, 2017, all of a sudden, all these friendships and everything, it's like, all right, so now you're either with us or against us. And just bluntly blindsided by all these people who had this like alternative agenda in secret the entire time. It was just like, it was embarrassing for a little while, but now I'm just like, now it just pisses me off. But so like, I mean, we're not even back to full recovery yet, but like at least we've gotten back to some sort of middle ground, some sort of middle road. And now the mental tug of war can go in either direction. And obviously the left is always going to try to discredit you. They're going to, you know, depend on you to provide some sort of source that they all rely on and call credible. All their bots, not all their bots, most of their bots on Twitter have been deleted. So like the perceived perception that perceived legitimacy, the perceived legitimacy that they did have, it's gone. So now we're like in this like raw infinite space of which direction is the mind frame of the country, sorry. Which direction is the mind frame of the country going to go in? Because like with the two-party system, there's always been two different types of mind frames. Left, right, female, male. It's always been a back and forth. Like your subconscious is going to cling on to one of them. And that's usually based on public perception. So where we go going forward, I think that's going to determine a negotiation. And the negotiation isn't going to be like a physically verbal negotiation. It's going to be a convincing one. So that's where kind of we were talking about earlier about it almost seems like we have to come back inside this fence and push it forward. But I don't even like how I said that because I don't even think that's true. I think that coming back inside the fence is just going to start pushing you down more because then there's compromise and there's no reason to compromise. Mm-hmm. So I don't even like the way I said that because I think that's my initial thought, and that's probably like a tactic that could be used, but then they're just going to prey on you using tactics. So I think since we're in that raw infinite space now, I think tactics go out the window now because they create all these blueprints and all these strategies to like trap you and manipulate you and suppress you and silence you. So it's kind of like you just need to like move all that crap out of the way. So like one of the biggest things that everybody's kind of been getting this general conscious level of is escaping the Matrix. But if you've seen the movie The Matrix, taking the red pill or the black pill or the blue pill or whatever, that's just like one step into it. Now you realize that, or now you've woken up and you're like, all these lies are exposed. Now you realize you're still plugged in because there is a blueprint to when you wake up too. If somebody has been pathologically lying to you, even if it's on a hive mind, and they've been doing it since the day you were born, decades before that even, they've got a pathological lie. So it's got a strategy to it. So they know that once you start coming off of that hive mind because too much is exposed, they have created a blueprint that trap you there too. So it's like 3D chess is what they always talk about. So like the point that people are about to get to is realizing that they're still plugged in and unplugging even from the internet and TV, and like a lot of people unplug from the news. So you can unplug, but there's so many more plugs in you that you don't realize that you have. I think that's what the society is about to go through, is realizing I have all these plugs, and you've got to unplug and move forward before they plug you in some more. Then you got to unplug again and move forward and plug in. So going back into the fence, I don't think is really the best idea. I think you just keep crawling forward because we're literally at this crawling point. And that's going to be the most convincing part, in my opinion, because people are going to feed off of the emotion of whatever is said. And I don't want to get to the point where we have to plead and beg to get our way, but it's pitted so much against us because of lies and stigma and evil versus good that like the good has to play offense. You know, we get judged for using cuss words, but it's the only effective messaging that works. Nothing else works because they don't care what you have to say. They just want to twist and turn and manipulate it, use it against you because they're at war with you. What do you do against somebody who's at war with you? I was friends with all of these people for decades. And one of the things that they told me during this whole awakening process is, you know, because I wanted to do the same thing that everybody on the right was doing, that like, we just, we're all friends. We're all, you know, we all love each other. Love's the answer and all this stuff. But one of my friends like kind of slipped up one day because I was asking him questions because I didn't understand all this stuff. And I didn't really comprehend that, you know, these people were my enemy because I've been friends with them. It's my family even. And my friend told me in times of peace, prepare for war. And he's far left, and I didn't realize it because he was tricking me. So he was in a silent war against me. So I just kind of thought about it for a while, and I'm like, so you've been waging war against me this whole time while I've been your friend. I mean, I bring this up because I think everybody's been going through this anyway. And so it's embarrassing because it makes me feel like I'm stupid. But I mean, I've befriended this guy, and I mean, it's multiple situations like this, but they let you know, like, hey, I hate you. But you think that we're friends. And all I remember is them smiling at me, but now that I look at their smile going back in my memory, it's a smirk. It's not a smile.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know they were thinking that way because I'm just a good guy. I just like people, and I just want to do the right thing. So your messaging going forward, you have the truth on your side. You haven't waged war against these people, but now you have to play this offensive game. But if everything offends people, how can you play offense and be offensive and not get censored? It's the hardest thing. You can't go back on the fence, I don't think. I think you just have to keep going forward. And in my mind, if they have a trap for you for when you wake up and unplug and try to escape, you just have to bust through it. Because that means that if that many people are going to put this veil over your eyes and like put this like blanket over an entire public like they have, once you come up, they're going to cut your heads off. That's like, if I was evil like that, that's what I would do. I would put a blanket over everybody's minds. I would stop everybody from like, what was that game where we used to have that hammer, you hit the gopher on the head?
Oh, was it Potato Head?
No, not Potato Head. It's like one of those arcade games, and they always had like the gopher come out of the hole. Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole. Yeah,
whack-a-mole. Right?
Yeah.
It's the same. They play whack-a-mole with you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what the fuck, man?
Boom.
But psychologically, not physically. Oh, it's now physically sometimes too. But
yeah, no. Now they just fucking put a bullet in your head.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do anything,
or you drown in 4 foot of water.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
So, but they can't. If all of you do it though, they can't stop you. I mean, they can't put everybody in jail. And I mean, like, even when I see this right now, I can hear the desperation in my voice because I don't have a blueprint for the blueprint that they've created. So I don't think you need it. I think you just move all that shit out of the way. You just go forward anyway. Just do whatever you want to do. What does it matter?
Well, here's the blueprint. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I didn't say it then, but I'm talking Rumble. Parallel economies is how we're going to win.
Yep.
Boycotting. Hey, Bud Light, how's the sales doing? Target, how's the sales doing? CMT, get ready to get fucked. You pissed off your whole CMT. What? That's what I don't understand. CMT, what are you thinking? 97.7777% of your audience is fucking center right. Or we're hardworking people. If you want to see the best version of some left-wing wacko getting his ass roasted, go to the PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David podcast, and watch him. And did you see the Anthony Weiner interview?
Oh my God. Yeah,
dude, he got his balls chopped off on live, whatever you want to call it, podcasting, TV, valuetainment, whatever you want to call it. Patrick Bet David castrated this guy in front of his face, and it was the funniest thing. And he was nice about it. That's the thing about him. That's why I wanted you to watch. He does it so professionally and so politely. He was like, look, dude. No, but before I get into that, but yeah, link that on the video. Hey, Bet David, I'm digging your shit out there, buddy. I like it. I watch all of it. So link that up and send him a message saying, tag him in that short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He was busting through the stigmas.
Yeah, you're late, or I'm late. All right, we're good. But parallel economy is how we're going to beat this.
Yeah,
and we're gonna fight with our wallet. We can't fight with our mouth anymore, or our voice.
Yep. No, they don't care.
They don't.
No.
And that's another thing that I was listening to today. Shout out Dan Bongino. Love Bongino's show. You listen to Bongino? I take that back. He's working. I know he is. He's sent me shit. This guy's like on a mission to get us where we're going behind the scenes, but we're going to keep him in the scene to make sure that everybody knows who's driving the real button in the back, and it's going to be him. So I'm not going to pounce on him like all of everybody else has. He's going to get all the credit where credit is due. Yeah, we're fighting with our wallet, and we're fighting with parallel economy. Y'all want to do this shit? Go ahead. But here's the thing. And it's even been said on several different platforms where people are center right. Okay, that even people on they're just Democrats. They're not fucking out there. They're just Democrats. Because some of their policies, if you're just getting into some of their policies, they work. But when you go fucking extremo, it's insane. But some of their stuff that they do run on, if we were logical people, like we used to be, right? If we were logical people, okay. I'm not for abortion, but I'm for helping the homeless or helping. You know what I mean? Like we're not like savage people over here. I'll just let them die. No, we want to help people too. We're not this evil, vindictive, but that's what they painted us into. But the real ones that are just real, I'll give you a perfect example, and I think we talked about it the other day. There was another one on PBD podcast, that the whole Andrew Cuomo thing. Okay, I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he said, but he was on PBD's podcast. They had a live on Saturday. Okay. And even though he's been painted, just corrupt, after watching it, and that's what he's been painted, is this lefty, this fucking in the tank for his brother, in the tank for CNN, in the tank for all of this. He came out and said, he's like, look, yes, I was muzzled on CNN. I had to push the narrative. It didn't work there. But I'm not saying I believe everything. Time will tell. Like he's got some proof to do before I really agree with it. But the way that he presented himself that day, and if he's true to what he said, he's an independent. He is not a lefty like everybody's painting him to be. You know what I mean? Like he called bullshit on both sides, okay? Even the side that he got painted on. But at the same time, I walked away going, okay, I'm not buying everything that was said about you yet, but time will tell now. Because now you got your own platform, and we'll see how you act now, right? So
part of the reason that people started to really dislike him was because during that whole you have to wear a mask bullshit, he got caught not wearing it out like in his yard, chewing somebody out or something. So he was going against his own narrative. I think that's where people started like, oh, this guy's. Like it made me not like him because I could tell he was lying. So he was exposed because he was going against what he was preaching.
But that's what he was saying on PBD's podcast, was that he had to push that narrative.
Yeah.
Same thing with his brother. You know, his brother's the governor of New York. He was. You know, that he doesn't agree with how Democrats are running New York. It's a fucking train wreck. Look at New York, Chicago, and California. I mean,
those aren't Democrats. Those aren't liberals.
There's fucking Satanists.
Yeah, they're literally communists.
Yeah, California. All the stories that are coming out now about all the satanic shit that happens in that town, you know, in the Hollywood scene. They're drinking human blood. They're sacrificing people. They're doing some weird stuff. Like I was watching it's another podcast, and it's this. I can't. His name's Richie, but he's a clown. Like he's a living clown. He's tattooed from head to toe. He's got the hair. He always wears the hat. He was in that. He's one of those LA weirdos. Okay. But he found Jesus Christ, and he's converted himself to the other side. But he talks about all these sick parties that he used to go to. You know what I mean? Because he was into drugs. He was into all sorts of just fucked up stuff. He's a weirdo, dude. This guy is fucking weird. I mean, you see a clown walking down the road, he doesn't have to dress up like one. He is one. 24/7. And he's fucking weird, dude. I mean, but he converted over to Christ and blah 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 blah. But now he's exposing some of the shit that he saw at these parties. I'm talking human mutilation. They did, and we're talking these are one of our biggest female pop stars, T Swift. Okay, drinking human blood. Okay, they took some dude, some actor that was on the come up, and they made him put, what's the right word? We'll be YouTube friendly. Scrotum. Made him put his scrotum in between two pieces of plexiglass, and they screwed it down on all four sides. 4 bolts. Wing nuts. Screwed his scrotum down to where it was kind of flat, and then hit it with a 5-pound sledgehammer. Is that not fucking sick?
It's like a really bad version of Jackass.
No, that's just fucking sick, man. I mean, what the fuck? But no, cutting people, laying them on a table, they're all around snorting coke and, doing whatever, and it's like, your turn to cut.
Well, a lot of this stuff sounded like crazy. That's why they used to call, like, you're a conspiracy theorist. They don't do that because it's beyond people's imagination.
Have you ever heard of Bohemian Grove?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. But, I mean, look what Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly were talking about. They literally were doing it together. And now the public knows. So, like, they were doing
what together? I didn't know.
They were drinking blood and stuff. I mean, they were talking about, like, I think she said something about, it was just like, we put a drop of blood in this and then we both drink it. But he's crazy about it. He'll like cut his chest open. He's like, drink my blood. They admit what they're doing. But the public, like, they have them on such a high pedestal. They can't imagine that they're really doing this. Like, when you expose this stuff to people, like, look, that's obviously satanic. But, I mean, if you believe in theology and stuff like that, you have the eyes to see, the ears to hear. So it's black and white to you. But if you've like rejected all that, because like you realize Easter Bunny wasn't real, Tooth Fairy wasn't real, Santa Claus wasn't real, so none of this is real. If you have never overcome that and realized, oh wow, that was all set up, so I wouldn't believe in anything else, then you reject everything that you see all the time because you think you just live here in reality. Oh, this is I got a cutter. This is reality. Lighter, that's reality. They don't do that. There's not a man in the clouds. They got stuck there, so they can't think. Their imagination is stuck right here. There is no beyond. Like their imagination is too small to really think like people are doing all this crazy shit because they can't imagine it. Their imagination, like they haven't had their subconscious broken yet. They're still stuck here in this like the small bubble. It's just gotten like harder and harder and harder
and sicker and sicker
and more evil and spoiled.
Well, and if they break the bubble, they don't get all the record contracts. They don't get the movies. They don't get the that's it. Harvey Weinstein,
Jeffrey
Epstein. Yeah, like
they incrementally let you know. So they don't pop that bubble.
Yeah.
Just grow it a little bit. Oh, here you go. Here's some more. Oh, that's crazy.
Well, no, what was interesting about the wiener thing with the PBD, and because he told him flat out to his face, he was like, "Are you scared of your life?" Because the answers because he went through PBD went through and named all 44 people that were mysteriously killed.
I saw that.
And he's sitting there flipping out. It's a conspiracy theory. And he was like, he kept naming them and naming them and naming them. And he was like, the way you're answering this question, you're answering my question.
Yeah. Your reaction. He's like, your reaction is an answer.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what he said.
He had damage control for every single one.
Yeah.
He was
already programmed.
Right. The blueprint.
Yeah.
He had a blueprint ready for answer for all of those.
Is the liberal we're going to out yell you and out
emotion.
Yeah.
People believe, like in high school, people believed the girl that was the most emotional. The more emotional, the more popular she became. Because people are like, well, obviously you're not lying. Because when you're lying, you're slick. Like, this isn't a washer. Hey, this is a ring. This will give you whatever. Duh, obviously it's a lie. People think that's what a lie is. People don't understand the lie that's inside of an emotion. So you can lie with your emotions all the time and everybody will believe you because, oh, this is really emotional. That's authentic. But it's not.
Most man moment, what he just said. That's what women do every single time you throw the truth in their face. You throw the truth in their face or you get any merit, they check out. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. And they walk away. They'll argue with you if they think they've got a foothold in. But as soon as you expose, then it's check out.
Well, they jump to something that they're right about.
Or no, they'll go to something else that you're supposed to be wrong at.
Yeah.
Right.
Either or. Yeah, because it's a war tactic. Like once you get pinned down, you maneuver, boom, hit them back down. It's all about beating down. It's all I care about.
That's good. That's good. That's a good segue into our last bullet point here. Okay, so will cancel culture continue on the road they're on right now, or are they going to double down? I've got an opinion on this. I mean, I think they have to double down.
Yep.
They're in too deep.
Yeah.
They're in too deep. And it's the corporate machine that's driving it, or the donors, or the whatever. But they're in too deep. They've already they've already jumped in feet first, man. But here's the thing, and I think that they had to because they're so exposed now. Everything is so exposed that our government is so fucking corrupt on both sides, not just one. On both sides, the establishment up there, they think that it is so sick to where we've got. But you made a great point earlier, is that we have to keep crawling because we have broken the barrier. The barrier's been broken. It's exposed. This whole thing is exposed. And thank God, because it is. This is good against evil right now. That's what this is. And if we give up now, we are fucked. We are fucked. I mean, if we don't take back this election, we'll never win an election ever again. Ever.
No. Yeah, this is.
And I think that's why they doubled down. Or they've jumped in. I think they're going to try to steal it again. Or that's why they're doing what they're doing to Trump. It's all smoke and mirrors just to get through the election, right?
Well, they have indictments on specific times on schedules. They have a blueprint for his indictments. They're on specific dates when he has specific rallies. So, like, yeah, everything is a.
You want a daddy?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's right back to the blueprint. They have a blueprint for all this too. And you know what's interesting is I'm pretty involved on Twitter. So on Twitter they have these random polls all the time, and the polls are always like, who are you going to vote for, so that we can consistently know where they are. And this is way before campaign season has even started, right? So ever so often these people will be manipulative and throw these polls out. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
There's
no sugar in these.
Sugar, hey. So they'll throw these polls out, and they'll be like, "Who are you going to vote for?" They'll put Rob DeSantis, they'll put Joe Biden, and then they'll put like some other person that obviously nobody's going to vote for, right?
Kennedy.
Yeah, that was a good one. They were putting him as the number 3 because on Twitter it's usually 4 options.
Well, because they're saying Kennedy's going to split the vote.
Yeah. But if like when you see the poll, it would say, well, they would give you the 4 options, right? But the 4 options wouldn't include Trump on it. But if you go and read all the comments, the whole comment section was writing in Trump, writing in Trump, writing in Trump, writing in Trump. Everybody is writing in Trump.
Look at his lead right now.
In the Twitter poll, everybody is saying write in Trump. So it's a mock vote online already. It's a psyop on Twitter, to where they're like, they're testing to see what it's like if we put Trump in prison right now. With all this trapment shit they're doing to him, changing the title of shit, that's all bullshit. If they imprison him right now, they were already beta testing you to see, okay, well, who are you going to vote for then? And then after they see who you're going to vote for, you can see in the comments. Down in the comments, it is literally all write in Trump, write in Trump. I'm writing in Trump, write in Trump. You can't stop it. Like, it's over. 2024 is, I mean, I know he's running as a Republican, but I mean, really he's running as an independent, because he's crashing the 2-party system. Rob DeSantis, or whatever his name is.
Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. I don't think anybody cares, but.
They don't. He needs to stay in Florida. He's done a damn good job in Florida. He needs to stay there. He's going to get his ass smoked. He can't compete with him.
I think he's ruined his career. I don't think he's going to be governor again.
Well, it's because he sided with Bush.
Yeah.
He jumped on board with the Bushes. I think the people of Florida would still keep him if he would just keep doing what you're doing, dude. Yeah, there's nobody. There's nobody that is going to Trump. There's nobody. he's already said he's ready to die. If they shoot, if they assassinate me or whatever, he already knows he's going down. He's already exposed what's been exposed. It's exposed.
Yep.
Now it's not all just him. They've shit on themselves. But the whole let's stay on the cancel culture so we can, because we're getting about 15, 20 minutes over here right now. But it's not too late. But I think they have to double down.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now. They're doubling down, and even Democrats, real Democrats that are not Pelosi, Schumer, all those fucking all those weirdos, they're saying this is enough. This is enough. I agree. Like I'm switching sides. Like Bongino was talking about this on his show. He's like, look, I'm a New York guy. I ran for office. I was in the Secret Service. Served underneath Obama. He's like, I've got so many Democrat friends, it's not even funny. And a year ago, he's like, we've had enough. It's gone too far. We've had enough. We're going to shift to the either independent or we're on y'all's side now. You know what I mean? Like it's. I think you made the perfect point. We broke the fence. They thought they were going to break the fence, but we broke the fence. But we're going to all have to crawl through their river of shit for a little while to effectively make serious change. We are.
So how do they do that? How do they do that in the employment field? I mean,
what do you mean?
Well, so there's a parallel economy, which means the new half of the economy is going to allow back open that free market, the highest quality candidate. You know, I think things are going to go back to the way they were. But if the majority of things are just still stained right now, that alternative economy it's in the infancy stage still.
Yeah.
So what do people do from there? Like even men, right? Because men are like, when you go into the employment field, you're trapped. Like
if you're corporate, you're trapped.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, I almost think that men have to start becoming entrepreneurs because it's like the only step out. Like come up with your own company, your own brand, or whatever you can do just to create some sort of new identity.
Well, it's what you said right here. Employment 2023. Using your personal social media. That's what they need to do. And they need to start listening, because a lot of these guys, I mean, okay, I'll use you as an example. Okay. You've been an employee or a subcontractor for a company for a while, and you get caught in that rut. Okay. Because you need the paycheck. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that, because we need those people. But if you're smart enough to break free, you've got to break free. That's the only way you get ahead. Okay? Because it's exactly what I said earlier. Of what you've been through in your career is there's companies out there going, God, look at this guy's fucking talent, man. Let's use him for every bit of juice we can squeeze out of this guy. Okay? And you may have needed the paycheck at that time, which, okay, you got what you wanted. They got what they wanted. So yes, if you have a skill or you have a craft that you're good at, okay? That's why here, working with me, I'm not saying for me, working with me, I'm going to clip your wings. Like, I'm going to let you do what you do. And then I'm going to study what you do. I'm going to be like, hey, man, because you may not have the money to start it, But I may say, hey, because there's a lot of people that they're investors out there. Okay, there's a lot of private money out there. You don't have to go to the bank. You can go to private now. Private money comes with a capital P, like 50-50. They'll give you the money if you've got a good plan, but private money comes with a capital P. Using your social media and using your YouTube and using your Rumble and using all these platforms, you can grow anything that you want to grow. My bookkeeper's daughter's best friend told her mother at like 17, she's like, I don't want to go to college. She's like, I've got an Instagram page, and I just want to try on clothes for a living and have a social media. This little girl is 24 or 5, and she's making like $400,000 a month trying on clothes. She don't even talk. She's just modeling outfits. She's got a cute little body. Women, stay away from the OnlyFans, because no man's going to want you after that. No. But I'm just saying, if you've got something, the point of the first point was, what can you do with your social media? You can do so many things with your social media, even your job, your business, what your service is. This guy's a video, audio,
digital marketing, advertising.
Digital marketing, everything. This guy knows exactly. Okay. But you may not have the money to go out there or be comfortable enough to say, I'm just going to go out on my own, because business is hard. Especially, I don't even plan on making any money. Not just Most Man. I'm talking about the production company. I don't plan on making any money for 3 years. That's already in the bank. That's already. I don't even plan on drawing a paycheck.
Well, that's a good mindset, but now you got me. So you're going to. I apologize for that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that when you start a business, that's how entrepreneurs really, really think. Is like, okay, how can I just live and dump it all back in?
Yep.
Okay, because that's how you take your business from here, and everybody else's. You know, they think they've got it. They think they've got it, and you're staying here. This is where I'm at, money spending wise. They're upgrading their lifestyle up here, and then all of a sudden, I'm here, but my money is actually here, right? So when this guy has a problem, he dips back down, and I'm already here. The cream rises to the top. Everything that he just fucked up because he wanted to live a big fancy lifestyle, all his business just went right to the top to me. He gave me the boost that I needed to get.
Yep. If you act like the money is not yours and you keep putting it back in.
It's the company. You have to treat the company first. You have to. The company, that's why I say I don't use boss. I don't use employer. I don't use employee. I don't use... you work with or work for me, you work with me. We work together, because if the company doesn't make it, me and you don't survive. That's our job, is to make sure the company makes money. And when the company starts making money, the company's like the man upstairs. She just starts, blessing. Here's your blessing for the month. Your hard work. Oh, bonus? Oh. Yeah, it's so simple, but people fucking complicate it. I don't know why, but it's like you said, people that go into getting stuck in corporate world, they see all this and they're like, man, we just waste so much fucking money around here, and we got such an idiot in charge. Well, it's because he doesn't care if the company survives or not, as long as his $500,000 salary check cashes every month. Fuck all. His ego's telling him that he's doing a good job. I'm not going to name the company that bought me out, but it was the same thing. I was just like, how in the fuck did you get your job? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what did you do to get here? I mean, you're a $500,000 to $700,000 a year guy.
Slit in throats.
Yeah, what the fuck did you? I mean, like, tell me what your background is. Are you a professional solitaire player? Are you a professional golfer and drinker and or entertainer or what? Or cocksucker? I mean, what are you? I mean, that's what the CFO was like. You know, we can't figure out how to get this extra percentage out of the blah blah blah. I said, what's the first thing that you would do if we hired you? I said, I'd fire him, and him. There's your 10% right there. I do all their jobs. I'm here at 9, and I'm teeing off at 1, and I don't bitch. And I play solitaire while I'm here.
On company time.
Yeah, like, because I have that much time because it's called structure.
You know Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah.
This is going to prove how right you are and how stupid corporate America is.
Fucking nuts.
You know, he got involved with Pepsi, right? So he like took over the ownership. Dude, check this out. I don't know if you know this already or not, but they were doing the thing like, what can you possibly do to really increase the prices around here? You know what he did to make a profit? He raised the price per bottle that you and I buy by 3 cents.
Yeah.
3 cents.
Yeah.
Massive profits. That's all he did. He was able to get like massive ownership.
Well, no, and we'll end it. We're about to end this one because we're going to do another one after this one. But,
we need to discuss this some more later on too, on a different one.
Yeah,
we need to like deep dive into this.
Yeah, that's a whole podcast. It's corporate America.
It's a whole series.
It's insane. It's insanity how these companies even turn a fucking profit. It's. But all right, boys and girls, leave a comment down in the comment section. Will cancel culture continue on the road they're on now, or are they going to double down? If I was a betting man, they've already doubled down, and they're going to double down again. And this is either going to be, I know we always say this is the biggest of this is the most important election of our lifetime, but this one is. This one really is. And I honestly, and again, I'm a middle of the road guy, but I'm a business guy and I'm a common sense guy. Good God. Did I just lose my point?
I think it's going to be up to the viewer. Are you just going to be yourself and work hard and just be competitive? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just working your ass off. You have an opinion that needs to be made. You're not supposed to say anything. And if you do say anything, your tactics get stolen. And then the company improves. So you're changing things for the better every time words come out of your mouth anyway. Just make sure you say the right thing. Be accurate about it. Everything goes back to normal. You just say what needs to be said. You don't have to be a bad person. You don't just know you're probably going to get ripped off. But if you improve the things around you, then you will grow and get better too and smarter. And you'll come up with new, more creative tactics. And just business things that just accelerate in the right direction.
I know what my thought was. Didn't mean to cut you off.
That was it.
But what I was saying, I'm a middle of the road guy. But I really, whatever, it's left, right, middle, indifferent, right, wrong, whatever. I think that God, and I do believe, I've had so many good things happen to me in the last year to know that there's somebody up there taking care of you. He's damn sure taking care of me. But I honestly think God has put Trump on this earth and this time of this earth to do what he's doing.
Yep.
I don't think there's anybody else that could do what he's doing. And he's willing to take a bullet for it.
Yep.
He ain't backing down.
No.
He's had a good enough life. He's seen enough. He's done it all. He's going down with this one. And I really do think that he was put here at this time, whatever his life is before, the 4 years that he was in there, that dude just made it look like, men amongst boys. I mean, he made it look so easy. And we have to, I really do. I think that he was put in this position by the guy upstairs to fix this shit, because it is good against evil.
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay, let's end it on that.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Want you to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia, themostmen.com, info@themostmen.com. That's MEN, themostmen.com. Thank you all. This thing with Tyler is just going to get better and better and better. So I'm excited. Can't wait to work with you, man.
Sounds good.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Good night.